Hello everyone, welcome to the Crypto Intel channel. Today we'll analyze the price trend of the Hbar coin and pay attention to key levels. Before we start the video, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and click the bell icon so you can always stay up to date on what's happening in the market. It takes you literally a second, but for me it's motivation to improve the quality and level of the videos on the channel. We have a lot to discuss, so let's get started right away. Right now, Hbar looks like the market may be making the same mistake it has made countless times in previous cycles. While most traders remain focused on short-term price weakness, the fundamental story around Hedera keeps getting stronger almost every single week. And historically, these are exactly the kinds of periods where the biggest moves start taking shape behind the scenes. What's even more interesting is that many investors still view Hbar as just another altcoin that hasn't delivered explosive price action yet. But if you take a step back and look at everything that has happened over the last few months, a very different picture begins to emerge. Hedera is steadily positioning itself as one of the most talked about infrastructures for enterprise adoption, artificial intelligence, and real-world asset tokenization, and the market still doesn't seem to be fully pricing that in. As of June 7, 2026, Hbar continues trading near a critical support zone following the recent market-wide correction. The pressure on price has been driven mostly by broader crypto market weakness, ETF outflows from Bitcoin, and a more cautious sentiment across investors. But it's important to understand that Hbar's decline happened alongside most major altcoins and was not triggered by any major negative developments inside the Hedera ecosystem itself. And that's where things start getting really interesting. Despite the difficult market environment, positive developments around Hedera continue to stack up. The market is still digesting the long-term implications of HederaCon, including the launch of CLPR, a new interoperability solution designed to connect networks without traditional bridges, the rollout of Hashsphere, and continued investments into real-world asset tokenization infrastructure. For institutional players, those developments are far more important than a few weeks of volatile price action. One area that deserves particular attention is the growth of DeFi within the Hedera ecosystem. Over the past several months, total value locked across Hedera-based protocols has increased by more than 140%. That's not a small number. Metrics like that suggest ecosystem activity continues growing even while the broader market remains under pressure. From a technical perspective, the chart is starting to look more interesting than many people realize. On the daily time frame, Hbar remains inside a large accumulation structure. Despite recent weakness, price continues holding above key long-term support levels. More importantly, sellers still haven't managed to establish a clear and sustainable downtrend. RSI remains in a healthy range and sits far away from extreme overbought territory. That means if buying momentum starts returning, there is still plenty of room for expansion before technical overheating becomes an issue. MACD is also beginning to stabilize after months of bearish pressure. Downside momentum has weakened significantly compared to earlier this year, and the indicator is slowly starting to resemble the early stages of a potential trend reversal. Another major factor worth watching is institutional involvement. Recent data shows that Canary's spot Hbar ETF recorded its strongest month for inflows since January 2026. At first glance, that may not sound like a game-changing headline, but seasoned investors know that this is often how larger accumulation phases begin. Institutional money tends to move quietly long before retail investors notice what's happening, and by the time the broader market catches on, much of the move has already taken place. Another narrative gaining traction is artificial intelligence. Following the launch of Agent Lab and the expansion of infrastructure supporting autonomous AI agents, many analysts have started viewing Hbar as a potential beneficiary of the rapidly growing AI sector. What's particularly interesting is that activity within these systems requires Hbar for transaction fees, creating a direct utility connection between ecosystem growth and token demand. That's the type of fundamental relationship long-term investors tend to pay close attention to. Looking at the chart, the most important objective for the bulls remains reclaiming and holding the 0.09 to 0.10 range. This zone has become the key psychological battlefield for the market. A successful recovery above that area could serve as the launchpad for the next wave higher. Once that happens, the first major target sits in the 0.11 to 0.12 region, where Hbar previously encountered significant resistance. But honestly, the bigger story isn't about the next few cents. It's about the broader setup that's forming behind the scenes. Over the past few months, Hedera has built a growing collection of potential growth catalysts: Hashsphere, expanding DeFi activity, institutional ETF exposure, AI infrastructure, an increasingly powerful governing council, and participation in government-backed digital asset initiatives. If even a portion of these developments begins delivering results faster than the market expects, the repricing of HBR could end up being far more significant than most investors currently anticipate. And that's exactly why some long-term participants continue paying close attention despite the recent volatility. To wrap things up, as of June 7, 2026, HBR remains under pressure from broader market caution, but the fundamental picture continues improving. While many traders are focused solely on current price action, major developments are taking place across the ecosystem that could shape Hedera's future for years to come. And if the crypto market eventually shifts back into a stronger altcoin environment, Hbar could easily become one of those projects that moves faster, harder, and surprises far more people than anyone expects today. Your plans, hopes, and expectations are for it. The best and most engaging comment will be featured in the next video. Just a reminder, friends, informational and news videos are posted on the channel every day, so you won't get bored here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're always up to date on all the latest news. And if you liked this video, please support me with a like. Your like is my motivation. Thanks to everyone for watching, and see you next time.